Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Young here, and today I'm back in another Fortnite video. And in today's video, I'm gonna give you guys a really good strategy in Fortnite that can help you guys get a lot more kills and also get a lot more wins very easily here in Fortnite. So I'm gonna be talking over this gameplay. I ended up dropping about 18 kills, so I absolutely went off. It was a really good game. So I'm gonna be talking over it and really explaining the strategy that I was using. And I think this video can help you guys out a lot. And before we get into the video, I have a weekly V-Buck giveaway. I'm going to be giving away V-Bucks every single Friday, and if you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys need to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel and as well subscribe to my second channel. I post a ton of really good content on there, so make sure you guys do subscribe. Turn on my post notifications, and as well leave a comment down below of your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And if you guys would like to support me as a creator in the item shop, all you have to do is go over to the item shop, go into the bottom right hand corner, support a creator, and type in my code. My code is Young Humor. Type it in and you guys will have me support it as a creator. And alright guys, let's get right to the video. Alright, so in this video, as you guys already know, I dropped 18 kills. It was a very good gameplay. And so there's a few things that I did in this game that I want to talk about and really touch on that I think can help you guys out a ton when it comes to just winning a lot more gunfights and just being more successful and winning a lot more games and also dropping more kills each and every game. I think that's important. I think everyone should try to get as many kills as they possibly can because I think that's the best way to improve. I think just playing slow and going for wins is kind of lame, kind of boring. So I think everyone should be going for as many kills as they possibly can, but there's going to be quite a few things that you want to know when you actually want to go for a lot more kills and improve the amount of time that you're able to win and also the amount of kills that you get. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about that I think is really important when it comes to being very successful, winning a lot of games and also getting a lot of kills, and that's just going to be as simple as risk versus reward, because in this game really you can't do everything risk free. Because I know a lot of my videos I really talk about how to win gunfights a lot easier, how to aim easier. But a lot of the times when you're going into each and every gunfight in a lot of different situations, there's always going to be a little bit of risk. So for instance, say maybe there's a storm and you decided to go push into the storm, there can be a lot of risk. Depending on how far the storm is, you do have a little bit more risk because you are losing HP. And at the same time, if you get hit for a decent amount of damage, it can be hard unless you have a campfire to get off any sort of HP. And even still, it's very easy to destroy. There's going to be a lot more risk in fighting in the storm than fighting in the open, but that doesn't always mean that fighting in the storm is always going to be a bad thing, because in this video I think I actually destroyed quite a few players in the storm. I killed probably like 2 or 3, or at least I did damage to a lot of them. But as far as going into the storm to kill the players, it really wasn't that bad of a decision. I didn't end up losing a lot of HP, and I had high ground the entire time. And also, say you're in a box and you have a guy outside of your box and you want to go for a window edit, even if you have really good aim, there's always going to be the risk of the other player hitting you for a headshot, hitting you for 130 damage, 150 damage off the one shot. So there definitely is a lot of risk depending on what kind of move that you do. And sometimes, some situations, it might be a little bit less risky to do something, and other situations it might be more risky. And a lot of times it can come down to luck, because if you're in a gunfight against another player, if you want to get shots on them, then they have the same angle on you. Because if another player is in front of you going for shots on you, you also have the same angle on them. And it can be a little bit different if someone's on like a head glitch, or maybe they have a really good high ground. But the majority of time, they are able to hit you for a lot of damage if they say. Because even if you have high ground, I've had so many times where I had a guy from low ground, and whether they have a scar or maybe they have a combat shotgun, I've had a few times where in the gunfight I have the best positioning possible right over top of the guy. They're like 3 stories down, I have my assault rifle, and they have their scar on low ground, they're crouched, they have no idea what they're doing. They look up and they hit me with a double headshot, and now I'm down to 6 HP. So there is a little bit, it can go both ways. They can hit for a crazy amount of damage from low ground. Even with a combat shotgun, has so much range on it, they can hit for a lot of damage from that kind of angle. But at the same time, having that high ground and having that advantage is still going to be something you'd rather do than have the low ground. Even though the player from the low ground can still be able to hit that shot, you're going to have the best chance of winning that fight from that position. And sometimes you might have high ground and you have a player who's below you, but at the same time, you need to get off a heal, so it can be a little bit more risky. Even though you do have the advantage in the fight from the positioning angle, it might be a little bit more difficult because you don't have as much HP, which means it can be a lot more difficult to try to land a shot without getting shot back. So it can be a lot of risk and a lot of reward. It really depends on the situation. You really want to try to understand how much risk you want to take, because it can be very risky to go for a shot when you have no health. But at the same time, if you are able to kill that player, it just gives you a lot better options. You'll have more mats, you'll have more heals after that fight. So you just have a lot more options if you're able to kill that player very quickly. And also at the same time, if you're in a 1v2, sometimes you have to win that fight, because if you don't, you're going to get sprayed out by 2 other guys, and then by that time, you really have no chance to win that fight. So sometimes you have to go for those shots. So that's just something you have to consider, whether the risk or the reward is going to be bigger, and you really want to play in according to that, and that's going to give you the best possible chance to win as many games as possible, and also get a lot more kills, because sometimes a kill isn't worth it because of their positioning. Maybe they have just so much better weapons, so sometimes you do have to give up kills in order to not lose that game. And another thing that I wanted to talk about that's just as important is when you're going into the fights, you have to consider, because when you're going into the fight, you really don't ever want to get too sucked into the fight, meaning that once you go into the fight, there's no way to really get out of it. If they hit you for all your HP, all your health, you don't have any extra heals, and you're caught in a bad spot, you really don't want to get sucked in too hard. Sometimes you have to, but the majority of fights, if you are able to not get sucked into the fight too hard, then that's going to be ideal. And I'm really going to explain what I mean by that. And that could be anything. So going into a fight, maybe you don't have any heals, so if you get hit, you really are screwed. You don't have anything else you can do because you're on 20 HP and the other 2 guys you're fighting are both on 150 or 200 HP, so it's not really worth going for the challenge. And also, maybe you get caught, maybe you're fighting a team and you know the zone's about to come in pretty soon, and the zone is on the complete opposite side of the map. I've had that happen so many times I can't even count. So that's why another reason why I land at Paradise Palms, because I know there's going to be rifts, or at least one of the slipstreams where I can use it to get across the map quickly, because I don't want to get caught at one part of the map and then have no idea how to get to the next part. So sometimes you don't want to get sucked into the fight too hard, because you never know what the other players you're going against. Maybe they're players that actually want to fight you and in the gunfight really quickly, or maybe you run into the players that just are some box campers and they just want to sit in their boxes and hold down turbo build with max materials, and the gunfight lasts for like 3 minutes, the zone's coming in and it's all the way across the map. And that's just something that happens a lot, and it's just the best way to go about it is you either have to kill that player as fast as possible, which sometimes it can be hard, like I said, if they're a bunch of box campers and don't want to fight, or you just have to not challenge that team altogether, which sometimes is going to be the best option. For me, I like to go for a challenge no matter what, even though it does screw me over and I lose a ton of games because of it. Honestly, it's so much more better to just rush and go for the best or the most amount of kills possible, because sometimes going into fights, it doesn't make a lot of sense, especially for me. Sometimes I go into fights that don't make any sense whatsoever, but I'm just so kill hungry that I'll still go into the fight, even though the chances of me winning that fight are a lot less than if I would have just waited and been a little bit more patient. But I also could have lost up on a few kills, which honestly can make a huge difference between a really good game and kind of an average game. Because if I upload, there's a big difference for me personally. I don't know if you guys feel the same, between like a 12 or 13 kill game and like a 16 or 17, even though the difference is only like 3 or maybe 4 kills, which isn't even a crazy amount. It still makes a huge difference when it comes to those kills in a game. So that's why I push for the high kills, even though sometimes it doesn't make a lot of sense. But when you are going into a gunfight, it's always ideal that you at least try to hold onto one launch pad, just in case you have to run away. At least know the outs. Maybe there could be a slipstream nearby you can run into. Maybe you have smoke grenades, impulse nades, really anything in the game that in case you get screwed over, you have something to fall back on. Maybe you have max materials, you have something that you can fall back on just in case something goes wrong in the fight. That's one of the #1 things that you can do in this game to help you guys win a lot more games. And so here I kind of get into a situation where the guys were on top of the hill, and then also the zone was a little bit further away. I didn't have a launch pad, so I decided I either had to rotate to the next zone, or I had to go for the challenge on this team really quickly, because the zone is going to be coming in, and if I try to challenge this team with the zone coming in, it's just going to be a huge disaster. So I decided to go for the challenge and play very quickly. I rush up, I get high ground, and then from there, my teammate made the other guy he was shooting at one shot. I finished him off very quickly. I'm going to thirst that player, and and I'm also going to be able to finish off his teammate. And with that being said, that's a wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do drop a like. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys get notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.